Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I have with me as always Max, Jason, and Elijah. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Hey,
Hey,
What up?
and we got people in chat today. It's Lavelle. Hey, how's it going, man?
Black Loki.
Black Loki, how you doing, buddy? Hope
what's
things are
up?
good. Congratulations on graduating there, Black Loki. That is awesome. Very cool. So what now? You out of the job, or you got something lined up? Stories to tell. How's your week, guys? How's everything been?
Good.
Yep. Been
Just
busy.
good. Yep, busy.
Mhm.
That's cool.
I'm moving soon, so
You're moving soon? That's cool.
yeah. So Liz has been packing. I haven't touched a thing.
Really? Okay.
Do you have to be out by the end of the month?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you have
but-
like a week left.
Yeah. We're only here a year, so it's pretty easy to pack up.
Yeah.
Everything.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
You know, it's like set dressing. You know, you could
Yeah.
dress a whole house in a
Oh,
day.
yeah.
That's the way
Yeah.
I
So-
see it.
So,
Like,
so-
I see that way too. I mean, it's like
So-
I can move everything
thousands of times.
right away.
that's
Yeah.
cool. I know. I took a lot more time, and I'm still unpacking, bit by bit. It's like, until I can afford to get all new shelving and really put my whole stuff back here. It's like it'll be like this for a bit. But I was
It's like
gonna
a
say,
Billy bookcase back there.
yeah, kind of just something simple.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, Jason, you're moving next week, so means that which is kind of cool because I'm not going to be around next Sunday. We're not going to be doing a podcast next Sunday because I'll be at Celebration, and I think it's going to be hard to get on live from Celebration.
All right.
So
Yeah.
so we probably won't be around next week, which gives you 2 weeks to move out and set up.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
thinking of you when I
I'm
did. I was thinking of you when I did this, buddy.
Well, yeah, and
Mhm.
I should be up and ready by my next live stream on that
Nice.
following Wednesday.
Oh, very cool. Awesome.
Hopefully everything should be at least in working order.
Yeah.
That's what's stressing me out the most is that all this is going to get packed up and like I
Mhm.
won't be able to work on anything.
Well, as long as you've got internet actually up and running in the other place before you start, before
Yeah.
you
well,
close down your internet on this
that's the
place.
first
That's the big
thing
thing.
to take care of.
Yeah, for sure. No, totally. Max, how's your week? Any comics? Anything new?
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff this week.
Mhm.
Nightwing was cool. This is probably the most fun I've had in a while in a comic.
Oh yeah.
X-Men, Immortal X-Men 2. For anyone who likes X-Men are in just a crazy place right now.
Oop.
X-Men are in a crazy
Yeah.
place right now. They're no longer at the Xavier School. They're on their own mutant island, Krakoa.
Well, thank
And,
God.
They had a new mutant island. But things are really interesting. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't read the start of it with House of X, Powers of X, but mutants are they're proving humans kind of ain't shit.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Is that a new run, or is that kind of like the middle of the run, or you're coming?
It started in 2019, but they started with this whole arc, the Dawn of X. Now it's the Reign of X, I believe, is what is the new arc, new jumping off point.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
cool.
Very cool.
It's just
I
X.
think it's the
days.
best X-Men shakeup ever. There's been a lot of times when mutants have had their own like mutant paradise, like Utopia or Genosis. But I think Genosha. I mean, but this is I think this is the best iteration, the most interesting. They definitely do more with it.
Cool. Elijah, much news with you? What's going on?
I'm getting started for this movie that's been dragging forever.
That's cool.
Finally starting up. I've been prepping this week, and we're doing scouting next week, and then we start filming.
Oh, very cool.
So getting ready for that.
That's
and
cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've just been trying to prep for Celebration. I've got something I'll show everybody a bit later on. I've been working on, which is kind of a fun little piece that I just started like 2 days ago, and I was like, yeah. So I'll go into details on that soon enough. Yeah, guys. Let's check out what was going on this week. First, you know what? We're going to start with this. Gremlins, the animated series. I think Elijah brought it up a few weeks ago. Talking about it. They've actually got actors' names now attached to characters. And I can see in there that we've got Ming-Na Wen, and we've got James Hong, and we've got BD Wong as well, playing characters. And I think this is like the first look at their animated characters in the Gremlins universe, which is kind of cool. I mean, we all grew up on Gremlins as we were teenagers at the time. You guys were younger, I'm guessing, but we all love Gremlins, right?
Yeah.
Gremlins
are great, both of them.
So if I had
Yeah.
one, I'd break all the rules. I just
Yeah.
want to see if someone gave me a bunch of rules with a pet and they're like, yeah, don't feed him after dark. I'd be like, first thing I did was, hey man, you
Feed
want
him
a
after dark.
cheeseburger after dark?
Yeah. And
Fair
first
enough.
of all, like it's so weird. It's like
Yep.
besides the Gremlins, it's a
Yep.
normal world. And
Mhm.
his dad was just like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Let's go. What is this? A dog?
It's quite clueless. Like clueless
I've
to
never
the world.
seen an
Like,
animal
listen
you've
to
never
my
seen
son.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's special rules.
Yeah. Yes.
And he's like, he'll be fine. He's a teenager.
Yeah.
And then and I can't help but think of that one scene in the first Gremlins where
Mhm.
that the girl tells that traumatizing story.
Oh, it's
about Abraham Lincoln.
Even today, like I watched Gremlins about maybe 6 months ago on television, and it's traumatizing. It's a traumatizing story.
And what was his response to it? He's like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, look over here.
Yes.
What is that?
It was so funny. She goes on and on about how
my God, her
father
dad
disappeared,
died.
and a few days after Christmas, and he still hadn't turned up.
And
And then she went to start the fireplace, and then she got close to the fireplace. She could smell something, and then they went in and they discovered that the father broke his neck coming down the chimney trying to act as Santa Claus.
And she's giving this to you as like a story. She's like telling you this.
Dramatically,
She's like, I've never really liked Christmas. It's like, why?
Yes.
Well, this one time.
But in the sequel, they do the exact same thing. They
girl
talk about
the park.
Abraham
Lincoln in the park.
Yes.
And he said, "Come here, little girl, come here." And then I was like, "Oh."
The level of self-awareness in the sequel was cranked up to 11.
Oh my
God,
gosh.
I love it for that. And I think that was the best move for any sequel to do.
Mhm.
It's like a live action cartoon.
One of the few sequels in around that time that was actually good. You know,
I wouldn't call it good. I would call it iconically a great sequel to a cult film.
Yeah, because the level of
self-awareness.
Meta.
It's like they're totally like
it knew what it was doing. It was aware of like how crazy of a premise the
Christopher Lee playing the evil scientist was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
They had some great. They had some great.
Poked fun at its own self, and I thought it was great.
So I mean, just bringing it back to
sketch that makes fun of Gremlins too.
Yeah,
but it's like they're pitching it.
Oh yeah,
great Key and Peele sketch.
Yes. Oh sure. Oh yes.
They're pitching Key Gremlins too.
Totally.
It looks like this cartoon.
If you know it very well, it makes it funnier.
It looks like this cartoon takes place like pre-Gremlins 1, like the origins of the Mogwai.
I think that's what's happening.
Maybe I don't know necessarily.
Like where they come from. And
where they come from.
When you're introduced to Gizmo, it's from this old like Chinese man, like a Fu Manchu style like Chinaman.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of they suggest that it's like of Asian origins.
Oh, for sure. No, totally. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it'll be interesting to see whether they, where it starts from, how it sets up, I'm curious to see what they do, and I hope they do stay true to the original heart of what Gremlins was about.
Which is
just fun and completely pointless silliness of the rules. Yeah.
And
how Americans don't follow the rules and they get screwed over.
Borderline horror movie.
That's it. Yeah.
Because I remember
Lavelle has never watched. Oh my God,
Lavelle, to America, we want to see what happens.
I know, but you've never watched Citizen Kane, so.
That's all right. He hasn't watched Back to the Future either at this point.
Oh my
so it's like, Lavelle, what are we going to do with you, buddy? Now, you know what? You've graduated. You've got all these great 80s icon films to watch.
These are the only movies that matter, Loki.
Can we sue someone for not watching a movie?
I know a good lawyer.
You guys, if that's the case, you guys better lawyer up then. Because there's plenty you guys haven't seen either. So
Lavelle's probably cracking up on the floor right at this point in time.
These are the only movies that matter, Lavelle.
There you go.
You better watch them. Anything from the whole Amblin.
Oh, for sure. Totally. Yeah. Anyway, I mean,
the Amblin universe.
Amblin Zemeckis universe.
Really, still no date. There's nothing about a trailer. I'm going to assume it's going to be coming out sometime this year. I would hope.
It's crazy because they had images of the animation and art a long time ago, and I thought they were way further ahead along versus just casting people for this. So I find that to be a little weird because, you know, they were showing images of this a year ago.
Oh, they've actually shown some. Oh, they're showing some of this art already.
Not that art, but you know,
like promo art, like
promo art, saying that it's coming
stuff.
for a while. So that would have made me think that it was just like not in, you know, I don't know, just further along.
Okay.
So
right, yeah.
Now they're in production, like,
so it could coincide with that.
Right. So we got a drop this week of season 3 of The Boys trailer, which
the scary show
looks awesome. Hey, Anchorman, how's it going?
Does anyone else think the show's scary?
I just want to see how it plays
my
out.
anxiety's
the book was like
when I watched it.
Kind of not satisfying as an ending. And
Really?
I want to see how. Yeah, but the show's already changing a lot of aspects. So
right.
I think they might be able to pull it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to read the book's ending, but it was overly weird with like it was just trying to be weird at that point.
I like in the comics, like they
right.
design Huey to look like
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg,
oh, really?
but then like
that's
since he's aged out of that role since they made the comic. And it's like, you know what? We'll just get Simon Pegg to play his dad. That's a nice nod to the the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to check over the trailer again? I'll probably mute it just to be safe, just in case. But
go for it.
Yeah, I want to watch it again. So hang on a second. Share screen with. Let's see. We are looking at that one. Okay.
Yeah.
So
his obsession with milk, I think, is a big focus in this.
Yeah.
The guy likes milk.
Not just from Elizabeth Shue either.
Yeah.
I guess he'll take all forms of it.
How scary is this actor? I mean, the way he
That's
looks,
what I mean.
He's so good.
No,
he looks really good.
Character.
Oh, totally. Look at right there. He's like
he freaks me
absolutely freaking nuts. I mean,
didn't he just get arrested for assaulting someone?
Huh?
Didn't he like just get arrested for assaulting someone too?
See, like there.
The actor.
Oh, really?
The character.
See him milking the cow.
Oh, really? No, I hadn't heard that.
Like,
I know he's Australian.
Yeah.
And he's not a real blonde.
I'm sure. Yeah. But
now the show's unwatchable.
Huh? Yeah.
He said he's not a real blonde.
Oh, he's not a real blonde.
Now the show's unwatchable.
Fair enough. But yeah.
So
I mean,
this
season,
it looks like, I guess, what's his name?
Butcher.
Man, I forgot everyone's name. Butcher.
Yeah.
He's gonna get
superpowers.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Superpowers.
Yeah.
Which I've been waiting for ever since the first season. I was like,
he does that in the comics pretty early on.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and then so I wanted to see that.
Okay.
Yeah, I always kind of thought like the first season that they weren't going to go that way. I thought that was how they're going to show they're differentiating themselves. But now I feel like they just.
That's it. I forgot because
I don't know what to expect.
It was the other character who had the powers to telepathic.
The AOC
I forgot about that
lady.
Too. Yeah, AOC lady. Oh my god, that's it. She was scary too.
Ocasio-Cortez looking lady.
Yes. Yeah.
No, look, it's Soldier Boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what's his name from the other show? Supernatural, right?
Supernatural.
Yeah, I've never seen Supernatural.
I've never actually watched it. Yeah,
Fantasy Boys show.
Yeah.
I never watched it, but its presence online is pretty heavy.
Oh no, for sure.
Especially in the Tumblr.
Looks like the kid gets powers too. That is
that's totally hardcore with that.
Yeah. That's
really put me off from the show. Actually, one time I thought it was like maybe I'll check it out, and then I saw like a bunch of really weird Tumblr posts about it, and I was like, maybe I don't want to get into this.
It was like huge on Tumblr. If you hung out on Tumblr or you hang out on the internet around like the early 2010s, you're gonna know about supernatural.
Yeah,
supernatural erotica.
That was big on Tumblr. That was
the slippery slopes of Tumblr. You're gonna see the really perverted fandom come to light on Tumblr.
Right.
That's for sure.
But either way, I mean, I've enjoyed the first 2 seasons. I mean, they're definitely graphically, violent and stuff like that. But season 3 looks just as epic. So it's like I'm excited to see that.
I like that they're making a better political point within the show than they ever did within the book. The book was kind of one-sided, pretty satirical, but in your face.
You got to consider when the book was made too, and it's a really politically sensitive time right now. So you're gonna crank it up.
Well, that was what was crazy. The book was made before like the whole Me Too cancel culture, and if it was made now, it would have been all about that.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if
it's still like a precursor to our current situation.
It really is,
and then like a lot of commentary that happens these days. But that book was ahead of its time.
Yeah. At
the moment, it's so like cranked up these days that like it's everything's so polarized.
Yeah.
So of course they're gonna refer to that, and I think that's a good point.
Right. Now I don't know if you guys saw this or not, and I don't think it's old. I think it was new. It would only drop this week. I completely forgot about it. They actually dropped a trailer for the Super 7, and they did it it was another trailer.
Like a promo within the
Voight Productions, and
it's like a commercial within the universe.
And it was like the film version of those actors playing those characters as superheroes, like it was the Justice League. And it was actually pretty funny too.
Restore the Borg cut, and Zack Snyder tweeted him back. He said, "I'm glad you guys get to realize your full vision."
That's funny, yeah. But it was cool. If I had, I'll have to send that link off. I forgot all about it.
It's cool, like how when they touch upon like political commentary in comic books or in in stories like this,
for sure.
How there is kind of they get dated over the years, whereas something that tended to be edgy or like, whoa, that's like, check out what they're pointing out. It was so like cutting edge at the time. Say like something like Watchmen, for instance. That's like that's a classic trope now. Yeah. But at the time it was visionary and brand new.
Invincible, I think Invincible is pretty much the same way too, to a certain degree, isn't it?
But honestly, but that was 20 years, 20 different story. I think Invincible is way more touching. It's more a personal family thing with a bunch of other stuff going on around it.
Okay, so
Watchmen's like
it's a really big arc.
More big, like a larger grand scale of it, and it's like a larger picture, whereas like Invincible takes something that's a huge picture, starts out, and then shrinks it down to like a family, into the family focus.
Gotcha. Okay.
But things like The Boys, like what you said, Max, that it kind of they cranked it up a lot in this version. It's because time has passed, and like we're in a different climate, like socially right now, and so I think they have to kind of work with that and try to keep up with.
You've never watched The Boys. It's really worth checking out if you get the chance to check it out somewhere. It's definitely
good stuff. It's what Watchmen was trying to say, but in more contemporary way, and at the same you know what I mean. There's
it's very much like that.
Watchmen in it, like the concept of the realness, the reality of it, and like the realism that Boys portray. It's fantasy stuff in a real world, and it feels really realistic. And a lot of the things that the characters fall into are realistic things. Like that would actually happen, and like the politics on covering up their mess ups and stuff like that, and just like the information that's being spread for.
I also just love the
things.
Thought of it. I mean, it shows
political climate.
Yeah, I mean, it shows also people with power and how dangerous they really can be. And I know this takes it to the nth level with superpowered beings, but it is a scary thought of that process and of people with power and stuff like that.
There's a number of like things that portray it well. Like Invincibles is a great
right. Yeah.
The Incredibles, I mean,
the best comic book adaptation. Like
Incredibles, I mean.
Yeah.
And Incredibles does a really good concept of like when that guy sues Mr. Incredible for saving his life.
Oh, the Incredibles. Right. Oh yeah, totally. Oh no, yeah.
Incredibles executed what Watchmen wanted to do, but way better.
Well, it's funny. Incredibles draws so much for Fantastic Four, but they stripped away so many of the bad elements that wouldn't sell for kids. Right. They took away so much stuff that did happen and work in the comics, like the Fantastic Four getting sued, and they took a lot about the family dynamic, but they made it a lot more kid friendly.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
So they're just like, they didn't want to go too deep into like the psyche.
They didn't go, they didn't go but like they wanted, deep, but they did.
They focused a lot on like the world's perception on the concept.
Exactly.
Instead. It's good stuff, and I like. I think they just keep pushing the genre when they come out with stuff like this, like The Boys and stuff like that. It's totally. It's a good satire on the the status quo of superhero films.
Yeah. So jumping away from The Boys for a bit and jumping into something totally different, back to Avatar. There is pushes by James Cameron to try to push for the 3D format back into theaters again. I mean, I was never big.
He left.
I was never big. I was never big on 3D, and I hated it even more when they took a 2D film and they forced it into 3D and forced you to watch 3D movies. But he's obviously shot these films to be visually seen in 3D, and the camera format and the technology and all that sort of stuff is there. So, I mean, would you guys go see it in 3D?
I said before the first Avatar I watched. And like ideally in IMAX 3D, and that shit was amazing.
Totally. Visually,
incredible.
And so like
I would see the second one in IMAX 3D.
Yeah, the second one IMAX 3D. I'll watch it because that shit was crazy.
They had my money from the first one. They got it again.
Boring.
I've never been too amazed by any 3D, and especially after a while, you just kind of your eyes get used to it, and it's not that not that immersive or whatever.
Not even Captain EO as a kid.
I mean,
that blew my mind. I had to pull him off because that lady was like,
that's a different type. That's a different type of 3D.
That's it. I was going to say about that.
I was for the exclusion of Captain EO and the Terminator 2 ride.
I was a kid, so it looked more intense.
I mean, it does. Certain things like with the asteroid in your face and stuff like that. It did really look. It was better, but they can't do. I don't know. I guess they can't do every shot like that. That's like all black and Anyways,
I mean that's the one thing about VR though. It's like VR is almost that 3D environment because you can now physically move around.
Well, VR is
still
right. VR is fully immersive.
Right.
Oh, exactly.
If you watch this movie and just put on a whole helmet and then
it parallaxes to your own viewpoint.
If it was something like that, that would be amazing. If you just put on a helmet, you're in the world.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So if this movie,
that's like 4D. That's like
that's VR.
It's VR immersive.
I know. I'm just saying that I don't think the 3D has gotten that much better in the last.
No, these days,
20
years. When there's an option for 3D these days for a movie, I won't.
Neither will I. I will see this in 3D
Avatar,
if there is an option.
In IMAX 3D,
but it's still going to have the black borders around the screen, and that's my point. Is like I would rather.
That's why IMAX is the best.
Yeah, if I actually
it's like
owned
the biggest it could get.
Correct, but you still have black borders. But the idea, would you watch? I mean, I would watch this movie in VR if it meant that I could turn my head 360 degrees and follow this entire story in VR as the quality that we're seeing it coming out.
Dude, I would watch any movie in VR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So is that
a thing yet?
VR.
There's like VR experience.
I think so. Yeah, with those the Oculus, whatever those things. You can watch movies on those.
It just projects like a screen, though.
I know, but it's like you're in a giant room.
It's still in a screen. Yeah,
right. That's true.
Yeah.
But what Brent is talking about, I don't know.
Yeah.
The closest I've seen for that VR experience is that ride at Six Flags, where they make you wear the VR headset and you go on to the roller coaster, and then you can like
but that's an event. That's an event. It's not a movie.
Oh man.
Is that Six Flags here?
The vomit ride.
I'm going tomorrow then. That sounds dope. That sounds crazy.
Are you guys excited for Avatar 2? I think we covered this a bit last week, but
I'll watch it 3D IMAX.
I want to check it out. I want to see if it's a better story.
The trailer's garbage, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, the trailer's garbage because we're so used to like great CG now. Like you're gonna need more than that, man. It's been like over 10 years.
Right.
I want some story. I want some story in the trailer.
That's exactly it. Like
James,
if it's a good
know
story,
what these
if it's
look
good,
like.
it's good.
We get what you can do. Like it's just
this is what I'm worried about. Though. I'm worried that the story's going to be just as weak as the first one.
We agree here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I just hope they do. I think James Cameron knows about the improvements that need to be made for story, and I hope
he's James Cameron.
He's James Cameron. I'm hoping he's
brought
put
most of the stuff we know today to us for the first time.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing
Terminators in Avatar
with a better story. Dude. Yeah, totally.
Liquid Terminator. That movie still holds up.
Oh yeah,
T2.
I just watched it like last week. It's so good.
T2. Yeah. It was also like so much stuff he did, like the use of like twins while filming scenes.
They cut that scene.
They cut it?
I always watch the director's cut. Like it's what's online right now.
The theatrical cut does not have that scene in it, and it's so good.
Oh yeah, totally.
But I mean, the security guards, the twins.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the Sarah Connor. The Sarah Connor twin moment when
that was in
him and she's in the mirror.
Yeah, wasn't that? That was in.
No, that was in the movie. That was in the theatrical.
No, not in the.
Not in the theatrical one.
It's in the director's cut.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's been mostly director's cut on DVD for the longest time. So that's
probably the one everyone's used to.
Yeah. I don't remember that movie.
And a lot of people think of the ending, the different endings too. There's like 2 or 3 different endings.
Yeah. It's been released a few times. Let's jump in. So let's jump into Marvel for a bit, guys. Just quickly, we've got a first look at Echo, the new series coming in 2023. It's not much to look at. It's just like it's Echo, but it's like.
I think her theme song is going to be that song she's standing in the room listening to that one when they introduced her. Remember?
Vaguely, I need to rewatch. I'm excited to see where that character goes.
I feel like she's like such an interesting character that Marvel often has no idea what to do with her because her story's been played. She's one of those characters where her story gets played out in her first act when she realizes what like happens with her life and become a hero, and then it's just like,
dude, I thought they were going to save that whole arc for her series.
That's the problem with Echo. I
thought that's the whole point of her story.
But that's her first appearance. So it's like after that, it's like, what do you even do with her? And then she kind of goes on her own path with personal stories. And now she has the Phoenix Force. So it's like Marvel constantly flounders with the character. So now they have a fresh slate though. So it's like they can go back and do everything that they kind of did before, but on TV.
I'm going to assume they're going to play Kingpin into the process, whether it's through flashbacks or whether it's advancing the story. And I'm going to assume the Kingpin doesn't die and he might lose an eye or something, but I don't know.
If it goes like the comics,
yeah.
Yeah, if it goes like the comics, he can be blind for a while.
Yeah, for sure. But
I'm interested to see what they could do. They got full reign of what they can do with this. You know, it could be anything.
Yeah. I can't pronounce that name. I can't. Is it Saratini? I'm sorry, but that's cool. You got some great points when you bring it up. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce your name. Anyway, that's cool. Yeah, no, the story.
Yeah, it could be anything, huh, Max?
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, it could be anything without Kingpin. I'm guessing.
I think they might use him like a little bit, but I think they can also use her as a conduit to bring all those New York heroes kind of back from the Netflix verse. They can bring in.
You know what? Yeah,
her Punisher. They can bring in. There's a lot of New York.
Her series could be jam packed with all those street level heroes.
Yeah,
that could be.
Yeah. Well, the other thing they, of course, mentioned this week was that Daredevil is coming back to Disney Plus.
It's the strongest out of the Netflix series, I gotta say.
Yeah, for sure. No, totally.
That was what I was like, oh, God,
so
solid.
The question I have here, guys, is do you think they're going to reinvent a version of what came before, or do you think they're just going to pick up? Because it seems like the Kingpin is already an alternate version of the character.
Chronologically, they just pick up. Right?
Really?
They'd be in the same. They'd be current with the MCU timeline, right? post snap, post
right, yeah,
Doctor Strange memory wipe.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have like more ground level. Maybe, I mean, yeah, like you said, maybe crossover with Echo, hopefully.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's all we want, right? From these are crossovers for people.
Well, that's what it seems to be.
Little bits of conduit
that matters.
Will that
stuff.
So will that dull the element of what the crossover is all about at that point? I mean, we had this setup where it was thrilling in the first arc of Marvel when we suddenly had one character crossing over into the
thing. It was because it never really was done so much. It was barely done, and now that it's been done many times.
Is it gonna get boring
in America?
Yeah.
No, it's that will never get boring. I don't think. It's
I think
just
the problem is they're doing team ups weirdly.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think they're doing a lot of natural fits. They're doing like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. Like that's not really a natural fit. And Doctor Strange and America
but that was integrated. That story was integrated really well, though. Like,
even though
it's a weird team up and not the most ideal, but the way
it
they
gives
put
you a
it
movie
together,
that's not either of their real identities, though.
Yeah.
I think that's my problem with their whole Spider-Man is like they're not really like they're not doing any Peter Parker stuff that much. He's always going off and doing Spider-Man stuff.
Right.
And, I think that Peter Parker ends up being the crux of the story, but it's always on the back burner of his life.
Yeah.
Well, I think the first two Spider-Mans had to deal a lot with his Peter Parker-ness, right? I think there's been...
Yeah, they did.
In the MCU.
I still think they dealt with it in the weirdest way. They didn't have his life really moving forward. They just had him doing activities.
Right.
He didn't have a job. He didn't...
He's not struggling Peter Parker. Well, I feel like he's back to form Peter Parker now because this Peter Parker was weird because he was introduced by Tony Stark and kind of like
that was the other thing I didn't like. I think he was way too close with Iron Man. I think Iron Man should be someone that he idolizes as a kid, meets, and then hates. I think it's usually better when he teams up with someone like Captain America because he ends up respecting him and looking up to him a lot more, especially because they had that New York connection.
Right.
Yeah, I think they just linked on the science, I guess.
Yeah, but then they also didn't have him do that much science stuff. He could have gone done like Parker Industries, which is his whole tech firm.
Right.
He could have teamed up with Otto Octavius in his universe to work for him for Octavius Industries. They could have introduced Norman Osborn, and he could have worked for Oscorp. I feel like they're not playing into some of the best Spider-Man lore.
Well, I mean, there's a good thing there's a Spider-Verse then.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
A strong Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
It's just our Spider-Man's weird.
Like, also
616 is like not like normal Spider-Man.
I'll bet my car that in the next movie he goes to ESU and meets Gwen Stacy.
How often does Aunt May die? Spoilers, guys.
In comics or in like movies?
I mean, she like sometimes her dying is like for a comic. Like was that Mephisto one where he makes he trades MJ for Aunt May? Yeah. Well, MJ is like him and MJ's relationship. Like Mephisto makes a deal. He's like, oh well,
one more day,
Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah.
One more day. I forgot. But yeah, I think that's
died in the video game too. Spoilers.
Oh, she does.
She dies a lot. I'm kind of sick of Aunt May dying. I feel like, especially with like a young Aunt May.
In the comics?
Because Aunt May dies, and then they kind of just bring her back, and then like the universe will restart. Like
Peter Parker's died too.
They all died. Everybody's died.
I think they all died.
Everybody dies.
Mary Jane dies a bunch of times. She dies. Oh man, one of her worst deaths is the radioactive sperm.
Oh God, that was in a What If, I think.
Oh really?
Was that a What If?
Oh, wait, did that?
Or was that like a weird? That was like a weird story that like
the Green Goblin got her pregnant with triplets.
Okay.
The Green
Goblin. There was the story where
I'm talking about the one where like she dies because of Peter Parker.
Because his radioactive sperm.
Yeah.
Oh.
That also happened to Superman.
Oh really?
Yeah. Well, his Superman wasn't radioactive. He had to wear a kryptonite condom, or else his sperm would
exactly.
That was disgusting Mallrats, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that was disgusting Mallrats, and then it inspired an actual comic.
An actual, yeah.
God, Kevin
Smith.
Smith is like, he's affected.
He's written some great comics. He's like his Green Arrow arc is one of the best ones out there.
That's cool.
He's the nerd dream right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
His He-Man book that came out recently is cool too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do we?
We're gonna talk about the, in my opinion, the hottest Marvel character.
The She-Hulk Authority.
We gotta talk about the baddest man in Marvel.
Move over, Jessica Rabbit. There's a new hot cartoon.
Well, move over, Magic from the
way better than
this Rabbit. Move over every other.
I'm just saying that she looks like a cartoon. She does.
She's Jessica Rabbit is the fertility goddess of our modern culture.
Well, as we were all about to say, we got the trailer dropped this week along with that poster. There's been a lot of controversy online about the lack of clarity of the CG
Valley.
On the
it just looks a little bit too off for us, and everyone's taken to the Twitterverse.
I mean, it personally didn't bother me so much.
It's the first thing I noticed. I'm like,
really?
That doesn't look as good as it.
You know what? I have a theory. I think it's we don't trip on like Thanos or Smart Hulk because they don't look very human. They're kind of
I mean,
stylized,
right?
But like she still looks rather human compared to Thanos and Smart Hulk. So that's why it kind of like it's off a little bit because we're spotting something. Right. If he was a little bit more exaggerated, like Bruce Banner's, then there's not really a reference point to judge. But since he's close to human looking, it's going to be it's closer. It's too close.
Here's my thought behind that is animating something with a smooth skin less effective than animating something with character in the skin itself? And I say like facial features a lot. Bruce Banner has a lot more facial movement.
Her face is smooth. Maybe they could add a little bit more hair and stuff like that. But what's gonna catch your attention most, and I think what stands out the most of this isn't the smoothness of her skin, it's how she moves in certain points.
Right.
Like her frame rate seems a little off compared to like the rest of the world. And I think that's the one little thing that is throwing us off. But there's still plenty of time for them to adjust things.
Totally. Do we want to just check out the trailer?
I don't even mind. I think she actually it looked good.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it either. I have no problem with it.
Oh yeah,
I'm just excited to see the character.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with this, and then get some Bruce Banner quality time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
on his island.
I'm gonna play it in quiet mode just so we don't get into trouble for it. Oh, there we go. But I mean, I mean, this is obviously an accident. I'm guessing that's an accident she's in that ends up by requiring the blood transfusion from Bruce Banner.
Let's talk about how they got even the colors right on the outfit. Just everything.
Yeah, I like that. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Well, she's got like shorts on it. It's not like a unitard type thing.
Right.
I think that's probably better for
That's more tasteful.
So this is
Blonsky.
Blonsky, yeah. I forgot that. We never really saw him
since Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that's it.
But
was not
in human form.
But not in human form either.
Yeah.
Really?
He was,
no,
he was
joking.
just,
I'm joking. I know.
Shut up. No, jeez. But yeah, it's good to see him back again.
He has an island. Is he on like a? What is that a reference to, Max? He gets his own island at one point, like Mexico or something.
Right.
Research.
I'm trying to remember what it was called. There was a name for it.
I mean, I think it's kind of. I mean, it looks kind of fun. It looks fun.
That's what it is.
See, look at him. I have no issue with him, but with her, it's like there's something.
So maybe they're still rendering it. That's true, because I did notice that.
Can I also point out they've got all the renders from the movie version, so it's much easier and cheaper for them to take directly off stuff that's already been done before and way better.
I get that.
No, but
they're working on a TV budget, which is
they've worked budget. They've had practice with him too, but I mean, him not looking exactly human does a lot for it more than you think.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If they were trying to make Bruce Banner, but he was green, it would still look odd.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
That's all they did is they make her face green and put it on a bigger body, and it's the frame rate. She moves too weird.
See, yeah, I mean,
the frame rate's too
just even that,
it's off. It's not synced with the film frame rate,
right?
And I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, could they have done a better job if they just had a makeup artist, and then they green screened her and enlarged her on?
Nah.
You think
there's definitely a body double. I think it's
there is a body double, but there's
Frogman
CG.
Oh yeah, so
but I don't know. As far as like doing just a body double and like making them bigger, I don't know if that would work any better.
So I don't know much about Frogman, Max. Who's Frogman?
He started out as a Daredevil villain.
Right.
I can't remember his original name. I think it was another like Leaper or something. But then he ends up getting reformed. He becomes Frogman, and he's pretty cool. He's kind of a wacky character. He shows up a lot in Spider-Man comics. Recently, he was in Iron Man, where Iron Man just kind of shoved him into a mission to space to fight one of the biggest bad space celestials. This guy named Korvac. He sent him to fight Korvac with like Ben Reilly and a bunch of other Misty Knight and a bunch of other people who were basically just there to die. And he lived. It's pretty cool.
Nice. I'm getting the vigilante vibes from him.
Yes.
He's going to be the show's vigilante for sure.
Yeah.
Frogman he's usually pretty scared and meek at times when he gets into that, but he also has times of confidence. So,
it's just his color. It looks like Vigilante's costume. It kind of just reminds me of
I mean,
like Vigilante and Judo Master mixed together.
What was Wong doing with Abomination in
they were making money, dude.
That was it.
Remember in Infinity War when Doctor Strange, I'm going to the bodega, you want anything? And Wong is like, he's like, I don't have any, I have a few rupees.
Right.
And then so they're suggesting that Wong's pretty broke.
Yeah.
He has to have Doctor Strange spot him for like tuna melt.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking since they were there, they're fighting, making money.
Yeah.
Just, betting on each other, betting on Wong, and making their
collection. He's definitely changed since we first saw him.
He evolves.
Evolved, yeah.
They made him more comic book accurate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I don't know much about
the thing is, they changed the Hulk too, so it makes sense to me.
Yeah,
the Hulk looked a lot different than he did with Edward Norton. So,
and we didn't get the chance. Yeah,
they're kind of like Beast from the X-Men, where they can they artists will draw them differently, and they'll just be like they evolve.
Yeah, acceptable. Right. It's like okay.
I think the movie version didn't have the fins; he just had like ears.
Wait,
no, I don't think he had the ears originally. I think he had different ears.
He just had regular ears or something. They weren't fins like that.
Yeah, they weren't like the big hand things, whatever, the fins. Yeah.
What's wrong, Brent?
I thought I saw Tony Stark in there. Is it my imagination, or that was weird?
We did skip over Titania.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah,
right. Forget it. All right.
Yeah, go back a little bit.
So hang on, Tatiana is
Tatiana.
Who is that?
She's like that costume lady busting through the wall.
She is probably the most iconic.
Keep going.
Not the most.
Keep going. No, back towards. No, forward.
Towards the end.
She is equal in strength and anger, but she's not green.
Tell me when, because I don't know who Tatiana is.
That's what she's fighting right there. Right there.
Boom.
Huh?
She's wearing that dazzled kind of. No, God damn it,
just
Brent.
a second before. She's
there, right there. There.
Okay. All right. I don't know anything about her.
She's just got superhuman strength and durability, and she is often fighting She-Hulk. And right now, they actually have a deal to just fight each other whenever they want to blow off steam because they both get stressed at their work.
All right.
She's usually a villain. I'll throw that out there.
They just spar each other to lay off steam.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. She-Hulk was away for a while. She comes back to New York and she just gets jumped by her. And they're talking while fighting. She's like, I needed someone to fight. I need someone to get my aggression out on. And She-Hulk's like, yeah, me too. My work sucks.
Oh,
so they just made a deal. Like they shook hands on. Like, yeah, man, we'll find each other and fight whenever.
It's a personal fight club.
Then what's her powers specifically apart from
superhuman strength and durability are her main powers.
Okay, all right.
She's a perfect match for.
But if you want to read that, it's in this book actually.
Oh, that's funny.
Is that one of the newer issues?
Yeah. This is the new run.
Okay.
She-Hulk.
I like it a lot more than the Savage She-Hulk run they were just doing.
Apparently, that guy in the captain with the guy in the captain suit with the cat on her when she was swiping Brent is is he like one of the writers or something? Or
I think I saw something online. It's like the show writer's husband or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, I mean,
I like that. Like her carrying the dude.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
I feel people are gonna be up in arms. It's too horny. It's gonna be like turning red. People are gonna be freaking out because it's too horny for them. Like, what is this?
Too horny.
It's been people who didn't grow up with She-Hulk being surprised at how sexed up it is.
Yeah. Just her like doing a bunch of smaller dudes.
Yeah. But at this point in time, it's like we've got Miss Marvel in June. We have Thor Love and Thunder in July, and then She-Hulk in August. So
it's the summer of super. It's the summer of super women.
That's guys. It really is.
It's super women summer.
Yep, that's it. That's about time too. Yeah, it goes from one to the other to the other.
Actually, what about
you're hearing it here first?
Scarlet Scarab in
she started it off.
I found her character still more interesting than Moon Knight, to be honest. I don't know why. Like,
because they didn't do enough with Moon Knight. They really did. They did so little with him because he was confused the whole story.
Right.
Yeah. It was an internal battle.
Yeah.
But
anyway, and then one last Marvel bit of thing. We got another image drop, which is of these two.
Continue
of Valkyrie and
Superwoman Summer.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're going to be.
And they're saying that's Bast, or who's the Panther god in Black Panther? They're saying that she is that. She is the personification of that god.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right,
up front, which is cool. Which kind of links to the deities of Moon Knight. You know that she's just one of those avatars.
Gotcha. Yeah.
If each each god is represented.
I hope Bast calls out those other Egyptian gods. Like, I don't consort with those dopes. They screw everything up.
They're a bunch of nerds.
They meet in their secret
They're a bunch of nerds and they got killed off screen.
This whole second phase, along with the whole
how much they suck. They really are
playing. They are really playing up the other gods situation, aren't they? Because we know we're going to be seeing Zeus.
Those stories suck.
But we need Gore too. Gore's got to kill some gods.
Yeah, please, just take some of these guys out. Whatever.
The trailer's dropping on Monday.
What's that?
Oh, for real?
Thor, Taika Waititi.
Oh, damn! Oh, didn't know that.
It's dropping during Game 4. The
on
Monday.
In the evening or?
Yeah, in the evening.
Not in the morning. Okay, all right.
Another one already. I feel like we just got that one, huh?
That was the teaser.
There was just a teaser.
Even though they're a minute long, so they feel like a minute and a half, so they feel like a whole trailer. Then they drop like a 2-minute trailer with completely different footage.
This trailer holds up the Ragnarok.
We're gonna have to.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah, I mean, we will have to do a reaction to that for sure then, and then drop it.
I hope they show Gore.
I want to see him. I want to see a picture of him that's not a teaser from a toy.
Yeah, right.
Loki says, I was shook by his arms, but look at her. Those are CG arms.
No, they're not.
What are they then?
They are.
She did training. She did like nearly a year of training.
I don't care.
She looks pretty ripped in person.
I don't. That's too ripped.
They're supposed to be photos.
That's too ripped.
I think everyone has
like she's like 5'2" and like extremely petite. Like her arms would be ruined. Like they would be like big like that for the rest of forever. It would be so weird. It doesn't look right.
No, you get enough vitamin E on it as you
I guess we'll see in this new trailer then when they drop the trailer. Whether
that won't ruin your arms. Women get pregnant, bro, and then they go back. Yeah. She's pumped out a few babies. You think she can't go back? What's wrong with you?
I'm just saying, because you burn all that, you rip that muscle mass like that. Their arms
you can lose muscle mass easy. They could lose all that from a baby.
I'm not talking about her stomach, her arms. I've obviously a stomach. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that's
but if that could go, those
maybe I'm
could
using the wrong words, but they're enhanced.
They're not going to be ruined forever.
They're enhanced.
But what you think those are real, Brent? Bring it back up.
1 second.
They look fake.
Yeah, I don't think that's real, man. I don't think her arms are that big.
I mean, look.
Look at the right one. The right one does look fake.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just like
you would CG that too. It's a Marvel movie. They CG everything.
Exactly.
They probably, you know what they did? They probably just toned him up like in CG, and they went way overboard.
They bulked them. They took Valkyrie's arms, made them lighter, and then put them on Natalie Portman. Bring it back up again. Look, they're the same size.
I mean, just Natalie Portman's shoulders alone. It looks like her head. It looks like
the genetics for those arms, man.
She's got the additional. She's got the additional capes. There's this. I don't know.
So you think those are real, Brent?
I can't tell.
You think those are real arms? Tell me you think those are real arms?
You're asking somebody who thought that the She-Hulk trailer didn't bother him because the CG didn't bother him.
No, I'm asking. It's a simple question. Yes or no?
No, I don't. I think they don't look CG.
You think they're real? You think those are real?
I've heard she'd spent time being trained.
I don't doubt she doesn't work out.
I'm not saying that she didn't go to the gym.
Those are real?
Okay, we need to track down Taika Waititi. Anybody out there who knows him, he needs to be able to answer this question for us. We need to know whether those are CG arms on Natalie Portman or whether it's real.
They're CG. I think we know.
Did you read it somewhere? Did you read it somewhere, Jason?
You think they just painted?
You can see it.
No, you can see it.
It's so obvious. That's what I'm saying. It's so obviously touched up or whatever they did. Look at her shoulders, Brent.
See, the same way I know that that's gold on the seat. How do I know that that's gold on the seat? It's because I'm looking at it.
God. I hope you're proven wrong, but this is me.
I think
it's
that's
also makeup.
It's makeup just because of that. Like,
no, it looks like it's
when they're doing the red carpet. Makeup. If her arms are not all buffed and can't fit into her dress like that, then we'll know that
when you're training and then a year out, you go to a premiere. Of course, your natural body mass goes back down again. That's. They shot this over about a year ago, so it's like
I don't think we're on. We can move on now.
Well, if they are her arms, holy shit!
Let's move on to Star Wars for a little bit, guys. This actually came in today. One of the artists who was part of the original classic ILM guys who designed some of the original miniature models, like the original concept models for Star Wars, unfortunately passed away. Colin Cantwell, but he did all the original all these original concept sketches, like way back, even like as Ralph McQuarrie had come up with some of his stuff.
I love old sci-fi paintings,
but all this stuff was
all that
based off of this is all based off of his designs, so we can see where the iconic shapes and everything came from in Star Wars.
X-Wing fighters and
that's cool.
Starfighters.
I mean, he was one of the first influences, along as much as Ralph McQuarrie was in the concept art. He was also one of the first ones. So that's pretty sad.
So did him and Ralph McQuarrie work together, or was Ralph McQuarrie inspired by him?
Two totally different styles. So I think Ralph McQuarrie is more the concept. This guy kind of fine-tuned specific ships and stuff like that. In fact, he might even come before Ralph McQuarrie, because Ralph McQuarrie's concepts are very close to the final design. A lot of this stuff is closer to what you could make from miniature models and
wait. So on these drawings were those concepts for Star Wars, or he just drew that stuff? He's just a sci-fi artist.
I'm not too sure. I think some of this concept is Star Wars related, yes, because I've seen it within books on the Star Wars stuff, but I haven't really read up too much about him, and I really should.
So he's just a sci-fi artist. That's what I'm gathering right now. He's just a sci-fi artist that Ralph McQuarrie was inspired by to make the Star Wars stuff. I'm just confused on how directly he was attached to Star Wars.
I think he was just one of the consulting artists that George Lucas hired to do concept art along with other people, all the different model makers and stuff that I think he had. He just found these artists and people that he knew from illustrated artwork.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even. Now I'm going blank on his name. Conan. Frank Rosetta. I think Frank Rosetta submitted.
Right. He was a creator and a modeler, so he built miniature models as well. So he did do a lot of the model concept art.
That's cool.
But yeah, and a lot of prints and stuff like that as well. Moving on from there, let's talk about the Vanity Fair shoot they did for Star Wars this week. Vanity Fair did a Star Wars shoot, photographs, that sort of stuff, for all 4 series that are coming out.
Another Annie Leibovitz shoot for Star Wars.
Annie Leibovitz, who did this. I just love the interviews that we've seen with. They all love working with her. But yeah, this is obviously on the volume where they shot all this, but it's this is kind of cool.
I've been there.
Yeah, I know you've been there. I'm so jealous. We've got images of Hayden training. This one I just think is absolutely gorgeous. This is just like Vader and Reva.
He's just holding toys.
Just holding, yeah, that's it. Yeah, but it's like, man, it's so cool. I cannot.
When I first saw it, I didn't see her there, and I thought it was
really?
A collar, like the old vinyl tape.
Funny.
So I thought it was like
you blur your eyes.
Because I just didn't notice it at first.
Right.
I was like, is that
Dracula,
like a weird old vinyl cape, like
a Dracula collar?
That would be actually crazy to see it just in one shot for him to have that cape.
That's funny.
So, like a Doctor Strange comic,
just pointy.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. It would impede with his samurai shield, the back samurai part.
Yeah. But this magazine, I think it drops this week. I need to pick it up. I don't know if I'm sure we'll see other images once the magazine comes out. But
I suppose they put Cassian Andor in there.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they
put a lot of chips in that basket.
Yeah, they are, but I mean, I think they're betting heavy on the whole rebellion arc of everything and the build up of the rebellion. We know that Genevieve, I forgot her last name. She who played Mon Mothma. I mean, the fact that she's in this actual photo shoot too is kind of interesting. So there's going to be a lot of counterbalance between Andor and Mon Mothma, is what I'm guessing in this series. I mean, the one person we haven't seen yet that I'm going to assume is going to be in this series and probably even in Kenobi is Jimmy Smits. He played Bail Organa, yeah.
Organa.
So, but he's not in photos from this. So they may have picked select photo images without the main cast.
I like that it's all just in the volume. There's all right, everyone.
Oh yeah, totally. No, totally, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
it made the shoot so much better though.
Yeah. Oh no, totally.
You could fit their vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I like that they didn't crop it. You could see the edges of it in some of them.
Oh yeah, some of the behind the scenes stuff. It's
they didn't.
Cool. Yeah,
that's good.
These are just somebody posted the.
It gets to showcase the volume also.
Yeah.
That's one.
Well, I'm going to assume they'll clean up all that stuff for the photos themselves, the final prints, and we're just seing the behind the scenes print.
No, those were the photos. Those are the photos.
Were they?
Fred.
Yeah, those
they were the photos, but
these are the photos that will be released.
That one looks good. That's the photo.
Yeah,
right.
It's made to show off part of the set. It's
right. So they didn't CG in the lightsaber blades there.
No, it's because it's part of.
Because it's finished. It's a finished photo.
That's the photo.
Right.
That's a photo.
Okay. All right.
Never mind. Jesus
Christ. The other thing that Vanity Fair also were talking about was the other show, the Acolyte, which is the new Sith series, and they're saying that it takes place in the High Republic era, and Vanity Fair confirms that they'll be set roughly 100 years before the events of the Skywalker saga. So it looks like we're going back before Palpatine.
And this is live action?
This is live action series.
Live action High Republic.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, which is going to be
without a Skywalker in sight.
Yeah, and
or just just without a Skywalker alive in the universe somewhere.
Well, that's I mean,
we're gonna meet one guy. It's Doug Skywalker, Luke Skywalker's great uncle.
But it's gonna be damn Skywalker in this.
Yeah, but it is around the Sith, the rise of the Sith, which is going to be an interesting thing. For those characters who haven't been born yet, they're also talking about political and personal, spiritual things that have come up in a time period that we don't know much about. My question from watching The Phantom Menace, this is from the showrunner who's saying this, from watching The Phantom Menace was, how do these things get to that point in time? How do we get to the point where the Sith Lord can infiltrate the Senate and none of the Jedi pick up on it? What went wrong, basically, and what scenarios led us to that moment. And then she's referring to it's a Renaissance term of Renaissance, an age of enlightenment for the Jedi. The uniforms are going to be all the gold and the white, which we've seen from the books, which is even further back in time. And they almost would never get dirty. They would never be out there and making a mess of it. Basically, the idea is that they could have these types of uniforms because they're not getting into all these skirmishes.
Yeah, that's a big part of the High Republic.
Yeah,
the High Republic is a lot of training.
It's like the Vatican guards.
But then you ask, how do you make that interesting without conflict? Or we start to see that coming. Yeah.
I think that's kind of the interesting thing about it, is that all these Jedis are so well trained because they have nothing to do but train, but they never really expect to actually get into a conflict. It's not like the Clone Wars where the Jedis are active generals. They never really think that they're going to be that, so they still dress like they're going to be clean.
Right.
They're just the peacekeepers.
It reminds me of the Kingsguard in Game of Thrones. Like, they're all just gold. White and gold, just kind of like
and they never really face combat until
because they're the face of security,
right?
Well, it's kind of like the way we see the Imperial Guards, the red guys. Like they're just so clean, and they're kind of just standing there. Man, they're pretty much with all of this stuff. They're just gonna be closing all the gaps in the Star Wars universe.
We don't know what happens next. We don't know what happens after Rey.
And we don't know what happens. Yeah,
that's true. With like Boba Fett and like Ahsoka coming, we're going to be closing up all these gaps between like, say,
Star Wars history,
Revenge of the Sith and New Hope,
but
or like
this is now giving them more permission to go further back and further forward. So I think
that's like what Game of Thrones is currently doing. This is exactly what Game of Thrones is currently doing, right? With the new Target.
Yeah, they're going back and filling in all the lore of the stuff that came beforehand, and
they're like, "You're gonna hear some familiar names." Then you see the trailer; it's like, "Oh, Mr. Baratheon."
Yeah.
Well, they have Rhaena Targaryen in the trailer.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. At least there's one reference point that we've heard of.
Yeah,
that's what got me excited. Like, we know about her.
This brings us back to like the connecting things, like, oh, it doesn't matter unless there's someone else from a different show coming over.
Well, maybe that's why in the Acolyte they might show Sifo Dyas.
We don't.
He is I believe, wasn't he Palpatine's master? Was he his master?
No, Sifo Dyas was originally George Lucas' element of Darth Sidious.
Oh,
he was actually going to do that, and then as he continued on to the script, he realized that it was not going to work anymore. And this is in Attack of the Clones.
Jar Jar was supposed to be.
And so basically, the Sifo Dyas character, he changed it because he realized that Sidious could not or was not going to be able to have done that connection. And
Sifo Dyas is a good Sith name for Jar Jar, actually.
But then they do bring up on Sifo Dyas in the Clone Wars, and they kind of conclude that story arc as to the reason why. And there was a good little story arc in season 6, was it? Or seven?
Darth Plagueis?
No, season 6. Yeah. Are we going to see Darth? That is the question. People are saying that you probably won't because it was even before his time. But then again, was Darth Plagueis an alien that could
when was his time? I don't even. Yeah, I don't know. When was his time?
I think Darth Plagueis. I think they might show him, but they might not show the tragedy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because it seems like because that was related to a young Palpatine at the time, when he was still young in The Apprentice. But obviously, Palpatine being human, we assume he's only lives a normal lifespan of a human. But Plagueis could be older, and it could be the main setup that he'd been spending time on, 100 years in the past for Acolyte. I would like to see that, because it seems like we need a lot of setup and explanation.
Well, we know Yoda's alive eventually. Time, right?
Yeah.
Would Yoda be alive around?
Yoda's around.
Oh yeah, Yoda's around. Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're probably gonna see a damn Yoda. See a young Yoda.
Yeah. Another young Yoda.
Yeah, another young Yoda. Yeah.
They're gonna bring back like the original Phantom Menace one, like the puppet.
No, puppet. Please don't. No.
Well, you don't like that one?
It was a little. The eyes are too weird on that.
It's like his eyes are all like.
But when
it's a little stiff too.
Yeah, when Stuart Freeborn designed Yoda, he based him off of his own eyes, and when they ended up doing that version of the Phantom Menace Yoda before they CG'd the Phantom Menace over again, it was just with the eyes. One eye was slightly off center, and it was just a little weird and a bit creepy.
Well, he was younger.
He was younger, but he looked more.
His eyes are more lively.
Younger by like 30 years, 40 years.
Like, of a 900-year-old lifespan.
Yeah, like
that's not
I mean, Chewie looked the exact same.
The prequel episode,
weird.
Yeah,
prequel episodes for Yoda was a weird week.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Just like how
what happened to you, man?
Just like how the MCU is a weird month for Thor.
Yeah.
What about Chewie though? Chewie went through like all these wars in like an active combat role.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Yoda just kind of sat back and was like, "That's crazy that's happening right now."
Yeah.
Yoda.
He's
like
Yoda's the guy that tweets about it. And he's like, "Yeah,
that's
send
all
love
he
and support."
does.
Yeah.
Says stuff. He's like, "Oh, all right. I guess I better go."
Yeah.
He gets beat once by Palpatine. He's like, "Oh, I gotta go into hiding, guys."
I messed up.
I gotta go dig him up. I got a little plot of land over there and some meals to make.
Where does he say he goes into seclusion? I must go.
Seclusion,
yeah.
Seclusion, I must go like immediately after he gets like beat by Palpatine. He's just like, all right, there you go.
So we'll jump into Kenobi for a little bit. There was
what? Yoda was actually probably so mad that he had to go into hiding because Palpatine called him his little green friend, and he's like, "Nah, man, that's not cool.
It's not easy being green. I'm out of here."
Yeah,
I'm gonna need
he went out
for that one.
He went to Dagobah and listened to Kermit albums on repeat to try to center himself.
Played a banjo in the swamp.
So, an article came. That's cool. I was just kidding. An article
like
came.
A robot. He's just like. Continue.
That's fine. You guys can talk about it. Go for it. No,
okay.
All right. Well, that's it then. Let's move on. So
Johnny Depp. It looks like Johnny Depp, man. I'm telling you.
An article came up.
You're right.
It looks like
Johnny Depp. Cheeks.
He's huge. He's got a pumpkin head.
And an article came up.
It's like his hair's underneath there.
This is not specific about the look of the look of him, but more about the style. And this article comes up with Rupert Friend, who plays the Grand Inquisitor, and he says he deliberately avoided trying to watch Star Wars Rebels in preparation of the role of the Grand Inquisitor. My big thing there. Well, my big thing there is, and then he continues on to say later on in the article, and it goes on. He always, he brought to the table that the Grand Inquisitor just loves the sound of his own voice. And if you watch Star Wars Rebels, I never quite got the Grand Inquisitor as a in love with his own voice kind of character.
He's not like a talky guy. He talks, but he's more. He's very quick with his
think he's overconfident as a character. He speaks with overconfidentness, but he doesn't speak like he loves the sound of his own voice. And
I really hate how actors will just ignore whole sets of properties and be like, "Nah, man, I've never heard of this character before, but I get him."
Especially if it's the guy you're playing. I think you should watch it.
I'm curious to see what he
do research. You might as well know what you're doing.
I mean, it's not like when Tyrese was in when Tyrese was cast for Fast and the Furious 2, he actively avoided watching the first one because he didn't want to pick up from like Dom Toretto's character. But that makes sense because he's not playing Dom.
Yeah,
he's playing someone else, and he didn't want to be influenced by like another titular character in the role. He wanted to bring something original. This guy is actually playing someone who exists already, and I think for the sake of continuity, maybe you should look at it at least.
Rosario Dawson ended up by becoming what I call
the TV show.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
The Halo TV show, the writers and everyone said they actively avoided playing the games or reading the books about the lore. And they were super excited about what they were presenting.
Right.
And everyone was a little apprehensive because they said, how could you be so excited? And how could you even write this show if you've never experienced it? And then the show is just garbage.
Right.
And it was the biggest thing that was garbage about it is just it wasn't like the games. Like in terms of like the people who play the games watched the show and said, this is just not Halo.
Right.
Like it's not even just the fact that helmets mostly off. It's like decision making that the characters do. Is just.
Well,
you turn Master Chief into a simp or something.
You said the same thing.
He bangs a cover. Okay, I shouldn't be spoiling the show.
That.
Yeah. It's some really bad character choices that just don't fit Halo.
Yeah. Right.
And it's clear that the people who wrote the show were like, they don't get it. They didn't get what made the game special and fun for a large audience.
Right. That's a lot of music, video games to movies miss. Like there's an element there that you need to capture for the video game. It's different for all.
But even then, did you say Cowboy Bebop also missed the mark as well from the animated show to the live action?
That was different. Well, yeah, it had a lot of the same charm though. It had a lot of similar charm, but
there's always the risk of any type of translation.
Okay, that's fair.
And you need to make sure you capture the essence of what it is that makes it that's outside of it being an animation.
But it's totally different. Great story,
no, there's definitely room for
the source material.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's a difference between bringing your own self to the table and knowing the source material, or just completely reinventing it. And I'm sure that the showrunners and the writers and director still were able to navigate it back. We'll find out soon enough.
What's interesting is like Taika Waititi is doing Jason Aaron's Thor run in his next movie. It's very blatant about it. It includes exact panels
screenshots.
There's like exact panels from the comics. There's stuff like Jane Foster's Thor, which is something he brought to the table. Gore the God Butcher, which is a big central part to his arc. But he's clearly also bringing his own flavor and style to the movie with all these other characters and story. It's going to be in there. So it's like he's still respecting the source material. He clearly shows he's read it and he loves it.
Yeah.
But he's not doing that to a T. Yeah. And I feel like this is the opposite of what that actor's doing. It's just being like, yeah, man, I don't need to know that. I see what he looks like. He's evil. He loves the sound of his own voice.
A few weeks ago, Hayden Christensen had said he went back and watched all of the Clone Wars
and
Rebels.
His character.
Just it's still his character. He wants to see what else was done with it and developed. And he had this interest in that. And so so it's like for this character that was a big part of season 1 to be reinvented does scare me a little bit, but at the same time, it's like we'll see. I mean, again, the series drops this week. I mean, I cannot wait to see this. It's going to be huge.
I know. What if he's like amazing?
If he's that would make me really happy.
He's like the best thing in the series, and we're all like, "Oh man, forget Ewan McGregor."
Going into it, I can understand the concerns, especially from this article that he did choose to ignore the source material. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, I'm more interested in the Reva character, the other female Sith, because she doesn't exist in anything. So we don't know if she lives, dies, gets turned by Obi-Wan back to the good side.
A different game foreshadow what happened to her. In the I can't remember what the game is called. The game with Cal Kestis in it. There's an Inquisitor called Trilla, who is a female Inquisitor. I think she's the second sister, something like that.
Okay.
And what I'm guessing happens is she's recently, in the last couple years, joined the Inquisitor. So I'm guessing she took the place of this Inquisitor.
All right. Okay.
So she's either dead or left.
Okay.
That's my theory based on seeing other Inquisitors.
Right.
That takes place, I think, 4 years later.
Because they're over even during Rebels, because it was Star Wars Rebels they first brought in the Inquisitors into the shows specifically, and they were they in the games before? I can't remember if they were in the game before the TV show Rebels or not. I think
no, I don't.
Yeah,
think
I think Rebels set up the Inquisitor arc specifically, and the Inquisitors. The idea is that they call them the fifth brother or the third sister. We don't know how many of them are there, and we don't know how many get replaced. If a third sister dies in one version, does it get replaced? Is there another third sister to take her place? Or we've only got up to, I think, 8. I can't remember, 8 or 9.
You get introduced to one.
I think there's a 9th sister.
I'm the 80th.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like, I am Sister 66.
But as far as we know, they're all trained under Vader.
Like basketball numbers.
So, yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, yeah. So
I had to fight for this number.
Vader walking is like, I got too many.
Yeah.
You're 66A now.
Yeah. Although when the Grand Inquisitor was, spoilers here, taken out in Rebels at the end of season 1, we never get another Grand Inquisitor, at least not in the animated verse. So we just got more Inquisitors. So it's like, okay, we've got an endless supply of Inquisitors, depending on, how many Jedi are still out there alive that they're sent off to do that. And then the other big question is, what happens to the Inquisitors by the time we reach Return of the Jedi? Are there any left? Do they exist anymore?
I think Cal Kestis is going to kill all the Inquisitors. That's my
really?
First game. He took down, I think the 7th sister was. He cut her hand off and force pushed her off, and she's implied dead.
Okay.
She definitely is missing a hand.
A Mace Windu.
And then she got Mace Windu'd super hard. And then he fought Trilla, which is another Inquisitor.
Is this Force Unleashed?
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Right.
Yeah, and he's been the whole game was him getting away from the Inquisitors, but by the end of the game, I think after you're gonna be hunting the rest of them down. After he I don't want to be too spoiler to the
now
game,
who is
implied he's gonna be fighting them.
The Inquisitors become the Inquisitees.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
No, the tables, how the turntables.
Okay.
Another turn. How the tables turn.
Oh,
how the turntables.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else about Obi-Wan, but it's this week.
Jedi Inquisition.
It's exciting. I cannot wait. Because I'm going to be at the celebration. We're going to probably try to shoot a reaction that night. I believe I'll be seeing it a few hours beforehand at celebration, but then I'll probably drop the reaction video when I get back from celebration, because I don't know what my internet power is going to be like from the hotel room that I'm going to be staying at, etc., etc. So either way, that's something. But they also dropped something else this week, which was kind of cool. It was a commercial in the Star Wars universe for Volkswagen, and
their new little
tied
bus.
it. Yeah, and they tied it into Kenobi, which was kind of.
I don't like how Disney's doing this. I think it's cheapening a lot of their franchises.
They've done
They put Captain America in a Honda.
No. They've done this before.
Star Wars has always been this.
Lucas has done this.
I think Disney's being worse.
No, this is no different. It's like having the droids coming out into the real world suddenly was also a trait that George Lucas did back in the back with I think it was Pepsi, did stuff like that and other things that they had the tie-ins. They can never obviously put a Volkswagen in a Star Wars movie, so they may as well.
I gotta say, it looks like it's got a Tatooine design aesthetic.
It's got a nice look to it.
Yeah, no,
it does have a nice look.
I'm not exactly fond of the car in general, but
can I get the paint job, like Luke Skywalker's?
Like a land speeder.
But we do
paint job on it. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Be cool.
But we
need
have
more scuffs to be part of the Star Wars universe.
This trailer does bring in the introduction of the new droid, right?
The little batteries not included guy.
Yeah, little batteries not included guy. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can get to the. Okay, they're just going to show off their product there. Hang on.
I think it was early on. When
I think I missed it.
Turns on the lights and you.
That's it. There he is, right there. Whoop, hang on.
Is this your new favorite droid, Brent?
I really like this little droid. I don't know.
How much do you like it?
We don't know the name of this droid yet. How much
do you like this
him?
droid, Brent?
I like this droid because I was
so much
inspired that I started playing around with a 3D model.
That's how much he loves it.
I need something for celebration to go with. I don't have like a costume or a cosplay, so I decided I started designing and 3D printing this little guy. So I'm going to have his little wing parts, which are drying in there. I'm printing out the bottom part separately, and I'm in the process.
On.
So I'm sending
and enlarge yourself.
So hang on a second. Yeah,
enlarge yourself.
So
there you go.
Right now, it's in the early stages. I'm still sanding it back and patching over 3D printing design stuff. It's all obviously the bottoms or whatever.
What are you doing for the lenses? You found some.
I found some stuff.
Some round globes.
I found some stuff I've got here. I've got something for the little lens, but the big one, I still need something a bit more rounder, and I haven't found
like a coin machine bubble, maybe.
Yeah. No, it's too big. There's this in between level of it being too tall and too big and too small and too flat, and I haven't found that in between yet. So
you need like a clear ornament.
Try Hobby Lobby. I think they'll have some.
No, go to Michael's.
Yeah, I'll go to Michael's over
Hobby Lobby. Fuck Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. I'll go to Michael's over Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
But and Michael's is closer anyway, along with Joanne Fabrics. I'll find something for it. I only just started this like the night before I started designing it. I only printed this guy out yesterday, and now I'm printing out the remaining.
Oh yeah, you better pick up an LED kit too.
Yeah, I got to get all that, but I also got to do it by like before the end of tomorrow, kind of thing. So I want to get this guy finished. So I've been recording and shooting little bits of footage as I've been, building it bit by bit. Kind of thing. So I'll probably do a post video, but I'm excited for this little droid. We have no idea what this droid's name is. We have no idea what this droid's got to do within KENOBI at all. We just know it's connected to KENOBI. But yeah, again, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited for a celebration. They uploaded the app this week, so you can go online and download the app onto your phone and stuff. They still don't have a lot of stuff in it yet. But
app for what?
The app for the celebration, for the events, and for the timing and stuff like that. Yeah, but they don't have the exact details, and I think you end up by applying the day of. Elijah, you know a little bit about that when it comes to with Comic-Con and stuff like that. Or have they not done the apps before now?
No, they do the apps. I obviously haven't been to Star Wars Celebration, but
right.
It
should be similar.
It should be, it was be similar.
When I went to Sundance, there was kind of like an app you use for all the events. They just went through what is that, events? There's already this existing app for events.
Right.
Eventbrite. They used that, but it was but they tied it in, and they kind of just like took over the whole app when you're in Park City.
Okay.
For Sundance. So
gotcha.
It kind of worked that way where everything was all scheduled, and you just got to open that existing app. It wasn't like a special app though. Yeah. But I feel like this worked the same way. Possibly. That's crazy. They're dedicating a whole app to a convention like that. That's pretty cool.
Totally, yeah. And basically, there's that. Then, I'm going to take plenty of video, plenty of footage. I'm sure we're going to find out a whole lot of Star Wars stuff. So I'm gathering the following week, when we jump on the following weekend, we'll be able to break down all the news that they drop. I'm sure we'll get an Andor trailer there. I'm sure we'll get a Bad Batch Season 2 trailer, hopefully a release date for both of those shows. Maybe we'll get some behind the scenes of Ahsoka stuff. I'm not sure because I only just started shooting it last like a week or two back.
Might get some pictures.
Hopefully. Maybe. Hopefully we'll get some of the cast out there talking a bit about it. We don't know yet.
Yeah. What do you know so far about Ahsoka?
All we know is that it's
Ahsoka will be in it.
They've cast an actor. Ahsoka. We know that it's
no timeline.
They've got Grand Admiral Thrawn has been cast. It will be in the same timeline as Mandalorian, because
who did they cast as him?
I believe it's the voice actor who actually who ended up by voicing him in Star Wars Rebels.
Isn't Ezra in it, or what's his name?
Yeah, we've got. They've cast a live action Ezra and a live action Sabine Wren is being cast. I think cool. She is in. I'm not sure if she's in Ahsoka, or whether we might see her earlier in Mandalorian season 3, because
we
she is
still
a
know
bounty
what's
hunter.
going on with what's his name, Ezra.
We don't.
Thrawn, right? They go to like hyperspace, like lost in hyperspace.
Yeah, about a year before A New Hope happens, Ezra saves his world from the Imperials. They throw them off the planet, and Ezra makes a sacrifice by taking out Thrawn, but by doing so in such a way that they get thrust to the far side of the nether regions of the galaxy.
It's like Lauren Fishburne's character in Event Horizon.
Okay,
you guys remember that movie?
Or Master Chief in Halo 3.
Yeah.
Okay, but either way,
it's a trope.
The idea that Ezra Bridger, who was a young Jedi in training at the time, is
cast by Aladdin, right?
Deep space. He's played by the actor who played Aladdin. Yes, I forgot his name.
That's good casting.
That's great, right?
Well, yeah, that's all Ezra Bridger is.
That's like spot on.
Yeah. He's a brown guy. He's brown.
But he was good in Aladdin too. He was like really fun and lively. Like he was one of the he's one of the things that actually made that movie work. There's a lot of stuff that I thought didn't work.
I was happy with his casting.
Was great.
Yeah. I was glad they didn't go with like a Jake Gyllenhaal.
Aladdin starring Bill Burr.
Remember when Jake Gyllenhaal was Bill Burr, the whitest guy you could think of. But remember in
what's with all the sand?
In Prince of Persia was played by damn Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like,
right.
What? Oh, really? I never really
Persian. He had a white guy.
Yeah.
Like, there was also backlash about Rami Malek playing like an Egyptian or Egyptian god when he is Egyptian.
Yeah, he is Egyptian. Yeah, I saw that. It was like on there was a screenshot of him in Night at the Museum. It's like, look at this, getting a white guy to play an Egyptian. It's like, he's Egyptian, guy.
No, actually, we're good on that one. He's Egyptian.
Yeah, you should pay attention to Egyptian gods though, because you have Gerard Butler and Jamie Lannister playing Egyptian guys.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh man, that's almost as bad as John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
For sure.
Yeah, it's almost bad.
Yeah.
You guys remember that one?
The whitewashing of
that is the most white. Like you know,
Mickey Rooney in 16 Candles.
No, it's Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Breakfast at Tiffany's. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they show that in. They show that clip in the Dragon, of Bruce Lee story. That's how a lot of us learned about it.
What? Okay.
I wasn't watching Audrey Hepburn films as a kid.
Yeah.
But I saw that clip and then I watched it later on in life. That and what's his name? Who was in Planet of the Apes?
The Mexican in
he plays Vargas in Vargas. It's some good you get some good Orson Welles moments. Charlton Heston playing a Mexican guy.
All right. Well, guys, I mean, that's basically the information I pulled offline this week. I do want to get back to finishing this guy. I've got quite a few hours to do on this little character. And again, we will not be going live next Sunday because I'll be at the celebration. So we'll be probably coming forward the following Sunday. Chat, thank you everybody for joining us. It's been fun. Thank you for your interaction. And guys, thank you very much. We shall catch up soon. No reaction videos this week, so we'll drop a reaction video for Kenobi when I get back from celebration. So probably on Monday.
It's my last episode here in this place.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Say bye to downtown LA.
Wow, it is bright and white out there.
The sirens in there.
It's the Matrix out here. I'm like,
we won't have the sirens actually going off every 5 minutes from downtown LA.
Don't worry, guys. There's still sirens in Echo Park.
I'm sure, but not as frequent. I'm sure.
But I'm getting a view of the Matrix.
All right. Anyway, guys, Thanks very much, and we shall see everybody in 2 weeks' time. And have fun with Kenobi, and have fun. Well, I'll have fun at Celebration. I cannot wait, and see.